Hey Scott, it's back. We're back for another season. Are you ready?
Back for season 3. I am so pumped. It is great to see you, my friend. How are you?
I am doing well. Just really excited to kick off a new school year and see all the amazing things that get accomplished and new student lives that get changed this year.
Yep, absolutely. And I know you feel the same way. There is nothing like the energy of a first day of school, right? That first day teachers come back, the first day students are on campus. You just can't really recreate that energy anywhere else, I feel like. So super excited to hear those stories and hear everybody's journey as they move through the school year.
Yeah, everybody's so excited to be back for the most part. Just even just looking on social media and seeing all the first day pictures. Not
Yep.
even just the first day pictures of the kids, but like all the first day pictures of the teachers. This is my, you know, 32nd year in
Yep.
education. Yeah, so it's just fun to see all of those come across for sure and see the excitement build.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And some of the first day fails too. There's some funny moments to start a school year too. I know we had one in our family. We did not get a first day picture of second grade this year because that's how toddlers and young kids work. So sometimes those are funny as well.
Yeah, just remake it.
There you go. Fake it till you make it for sure.
Did you have a great summer?
We had a fantastic summer. Yeah, I got to do some real good family time. Obviously, as you know, we were out in Texas, got to hang out with you and Jen and some of our friends out in Texas. Really had a great trip, good time away from everything. So it was really, really enjoyable. How about you? Did you get any time
Yeah,
off? Any travel time?
I did take some time off and went down to my happy place down in Mexico and
Yep,
just disconnected from everything for a while, disconnected from the technology and the all the beeps and buzzes, right? Just to
that's
relax
right.
and be present. So it was great. And now I'm recharged, ready for another school year, and we're seeing all the amazing things to happen in education, both K-12, higher education, research. Really, movers and shakers out there in education.
Yeah, lots of things happening, and I'm with you. Definitely feel recharged and ready to take all that on and learn from all of our friends throughout this season.
Yeah, speaking of, I am being recharged and energized. Super excited about our guest tonight because she brings a lot of energy to education, specifically in the state of Louisiana, and touches lives all over the place. And just so excited to have her on tonight. And so, with that, do you want to introduce our guest and bring her on the show?
I would be happy to. Let me throw her into the stream here. There she is. We are so happy to have Nalon Taylor with us. She is an amazing educator from Louisiana. And if you know her or have been around her, Robin hit it on the head. Just a ton of energy, both in person and on social media. She teaches Spanish and is a very effective tech integration coach as well. And what I like to say, the heart and soul behind the MIEE Louisiana Twitter handle, which is a fantastic account. You all do a great job in your area of not just sharing with the MIEs in Louisiana, but everybody everywhere. So, Nalon, we are so happy to have you. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here. The energy ball, huh?
That's right. You are. You bring the energy and the excitement everywhere you go, Nolan. So
Yep.
we said,
Kicking the
what
season
better
off in
guest to kick
style.
off our show this season than bringing you?
Awesome. Thank you so much.
So, Nolan, would you tell us a
Mhm.
little bit, and everybody out here who's listening, tell us a little bit about the work that you've been doing for in your education career, and then like, what are you looking forward to? What big plans do you have for this coming school year?
Okay. Well, I have been in Louisiana this year, actually 16 years. So 4th of July weekend made 16 in Louisiana and came right after Hurricane Katrina. I've been in the classroom almost that long for the past 14 to 15 years. And I've been mainly high school teaching Spanish. And I've had a chance to do a multimedia class as well as a journalism class. So that's been pretty exciting, and creative web design. But this school year, I'm really excited because I'm moving into a role as an English language coach. And so being a lover of languages, hence my handle down there for Twitter, Lady Language 411. But I am also multilingual. And so I'm so excited to be able to work with families, with more students, and to be able to reach more colleagues this year, just in person and globally. So that's really exciting for me. Mhm.
And is that role new to your district or just new to you? It's a really interesting kind of niche thing you're addressing there, right?
Yeah, I would say a little bit of both
Okay.
because it's definitely new for me because I was not working in that capacity before as a learner coach. Been in the capacity of kind of like coaching and supporting other people though for a long time, and so I knew that I was ready to be out of the classroom. I just wasn't really sure of what I wanted to do. I didn't know if that was just going to be all with languages or all with technology, and I love being able to merge both of them. I always always have. And the role itself, it was only with one person who had to do that for a few years. I would say probably 5 years. But this year, it's pretty cool because now we have a team of at least 4 people. We have about 16 schools in the district. So it's good for all of us to kind of get a couple of schools each other, and we get a chance to separate that and, conquer everything together. So it's pretty good. We have more people on the team and just more families to be able to reach. So it's pretty good.
That's awesome. So, I'm so glad that you have a team, and you mentioned
Right.
teams just in general, that we
Mhm.
know that right now, well, always, just for teachers to feel like part of something else and connected to other people that are all driving and,
Yeah.
for the same end goals, et cetera. And so
Mhm.
I'm so glad that, this person who was just the one now is 4, and you guys have each
Exactly.
other to lean on. And definitely that's, I would probably say that's your local PLN that you're kind of working with inside
For
the
sure.
district. But can you tell maybe other people about how should teachers go about finding a PLN inside their school district, or maybe in their local community, or maybe even thinking more broadly,
Yeah.
how can they go about finding one, and why do you think they're so important?
Oh, yeah. Well, that's a good question. I think for the longest, I've just been somebody who loves inclusion, and I just enjoy connecting with people. I'm kind of like, I was sharing that with Matt not too long ago, Matt Miller. And so something about being an introverted extrovert. So we're solely introverts. We really are, like, just kind of like, I want to keep it to myself. I just kind of want to figure it out on my own. But then if I warm up to people, then it's just like, oh yeah, you can see the real Nalan, or you can, let everything just come out. And so when you're meeting different people or you get a chance to connect, I just think that just, it takes your learning to another level. You don't have to do it alone. And me being in high school as a Spanish teacher for so many years, I just felt like I was always a department of one. And I always wanted to feel like, well, when is somebody going to give like a PD for me? Like, when am I going to have like my own mentor teacher? Or when is somebody going to help me out? And I always felt like, well, forget about it. Nothing is coming. Nobody is coming your way. So you are that person. So I've always been the one to have to just kind of get the ball rolling and just to set it in place. So whatever I wanted to see, like that, the quote that we all know, you want to see the change? Well, be the change. So in order for me to see the PLN that I wanted, I had to attempt to begin to build that. And just started connecting with more people in my building. And sometimes it's a little different when you are a department of one, because everybody is not as passionate as you are about certain things. And it's okay. It's a little tough, you know what I mean, in the beginning, because that's one of the reasons why I created the school-wide team that we have using Microsoft. It's why I created MIEE Louisiana, because I wanted people to continue to connect and to grow together. And if I wasn't able to find it just in my building, and I could only have a couple of people who wanted to do that, or just a few people in my district, I was just like, well, forget it. Y'all don't want to do it. So guess what? We're just going to branch out and get the world going. So I just find that that's so important, Yeah. Yep.
Well, you said something interesting, Alon, that hits home. I know, especially with me, and I'm sure a lot of our viewers, when you're in a high school setting, and it seems like it happens this way with learning as we go through K-12, but also teaching, the further along you get, the more isolated it gets, right? We're very siloed by department,
right,
or grade level, depending on the structure of the school. So,
yeah,
I mean, that's a real struggle in good times, right? But in bad times, like
right.
that can really break a staff down, can't it?
It can, and it's really hard, especially, you guys know, we did the whole pandemic thing at home together. You know what I mean? Like, that was the new thing. Like, everybody, you're separate, but you're still together because we're online and we can see each other. But it was really difficult. And we talked about how it kind of pinpointed where we all were with technology. But then the whole thing about social emotional learning began to boom too. So people were just like, well, we need to not just check in on students, like we have to be able to check in on each other. So that became one of the things that I started initiating with more faculty meetings, or just more, things that we were doing online. Okay, I know how my students are feeling. Yes, I've asked them, about these real world questions or how to check in with them, but can we check in on each other? Can we figure out how you're doing, how your family is doing, things that we, want to do in education? So it's just, you have to be able, the same way that we always say, you know, we're in education, we're in it for our students. We want them to learn, we want them to grow, but we can't forget about each other. And I don't want to sound selfish, but that's the real deal. I can't be my best self if I'm angry every day. I can't be my best self, you know, if I don't want to work with the people who are my colleagues. So we got to be able to do it together. And sometimes they look at me like, you know what, Nalan, we're not doing this circle of control anymore. We're not doing this choice boards activity. I'm just like, listen, you're going to do it today and you're going to enjoy it. so, you know, it's just a trial and error. We just try different things. We try to figure out what's going on, but it is what it is, you know?
I think at the heart of everything, it's that sense of belonging. You know, it's why we find these communities to be a part of, you know, both to receive and also to give. And I think you do an amazing job in our Microsoft Innovative Educator Expert community of both of those things. And, you know, taking in and learning. I think when you first came into the community, I remember specifically you're just asking lots of questions and wanting us to take it all in. But then you like quickly transition from, you know, the learn it all mode to the share it all mode. And how do I take what I learned here and share that with this larger community and spinning up the MIEE Louisiana community, et cetera. Can you maybe just, for those that are maybe listening tonight that aren't familiar with the MIEE community, why is that community important to you, and what makes you keep coming back and wanting to share that with others?
Oh yeah, it's so important to me. I just feel like, you know, it's like what's the quote? I've been coming across so many good quotes lately. I don't want to butcher them. I have my little journal. Let me look at my little journal here to see what I get. But there's another quote that talks about like your sense of belonging, you know, like the whole thing now with like DEIB, so diversity, equity, inclusion, and then they added the B for belonging. And then we talk about equity and we talk about equality. And I think Victoria had named something, Victoria in the tech. So she named something that was at the whole Microsoft thing. And before I share those quotes or before I find them, it's just when I found out about Microsoft, and I sent out a little reel the other day too. Like I made this little reel on Instagram about one of the football commentators, Shannon Smith, and he says the comment is both, BOAF. It's just like you can do both of them, like use whatever you want. And so a lot of people always are just like, listen, Nalan, you're gonna do Microsoft, you're gonna do Google. And I'm just like, listen, you know where my heart lies, okay? But if you want to argue, you want to use whatever platform you want to use, just use both of them, okay? I'm not gonna fight you on it anymore. And so I made like a little reel about that because I constantly have colleagues who are just like, can we just use this one? I'm just like, listen, we have this platform. I really want you to use what we can use. So, but when I found out that we were a Microsoft district, a Microsoft school, it's the only platform that I knew, you know? And so I just kind of wanted to jump in with everything, whether it was the stuff now is new, like with Immersive Reader and with Reading Progress, those are just in the past couple of years. But about, I want to say in 2016, 17 is when we were finally had OneNote. We had somebody come in and, you know, train us, and myself, I got a chance to go to our central office and learn about how to use OneNote and set up the class notebook. And so that to me became a game changer because my students were just like, what? We don't have to have any paper anymore. And I'm just like, no, because I'm not making any copies, but if you want, I can. So it just turned out to be something that was awesome. I was giving everybody their individualized notes. It just took learning to a different level. You know what I mean? Like I didn't have to be 30,000 places. I could give them whatever information it was. I didn't have any excuses anymore about, I lost my binder. I don't know what the handout is. I don't know what you did. Listen, you're going to go to that OneNote. You're going to find out what I gave you. And we're going to be okay. So all of that began to work. And I think the connections that I made within Microsoft have just been people who are looking for the same thing that I'm looking for. Everybody is just, you want to connect, you want to learn, you want to use this platform that is innovative, that is changing things around. And I don't know, maybe that's just my personality too. Like I don't have to have all the details, and maybe that's a catch-22 sometimes, but it's just like, just jump in. You don't have to know. I don't know what's going on. I'm just going to jump in with both feet, sometimes head first. It is what it is. So that quote, I remember Victoria saying this one, and then I found somebody else at another language conference. So her quote said, equality is making sure we all get shoes, right? Equality is making sure we all get shoes. And then it says, and equity is ensuring we all get the right size. And so that was amazing. All right. I'm not going to reflect more on that one, but I'm going to tell you about this one with diversity. So this diversity quote says, diversity is being invited to the party, right? Because I like to dance. I like music. So diversity is being invited to the party. Inclusion is being asked to dance. Okay. But then here's the kicker. Belonging is dancing like no one is watching. And that part right there, I feel like with our Microsoft community, with MIEE, with the schools program, with the showcase schools, and this year we were an incubator school this past year, I just felt like we belong. It was just somewhere that, you know what I mean? You can add in whatever ideas you have. You can be a newbie at the table, but everybody was learning and growing at the same time and doing different things. And I just really feel like that's what Microsoft is all about. I'm not knocking any other platform. I don't know anybody on any other platform. I'm always going to encourage people to promote this one, but that's just how I feel. I'm a little biased, so it is what it is. It is what it is. So
I so appreciate your passion, and I think while I take about 17,000 things away from what you just said, I think maybe the most important is that everything is about effective teaching, right? It's about what's best for students, whether you like OneNote or Teams or a completely different platform.
Right.
It's really about focusing on what's best for students and creating the most effective learning environments possible, right?
For sure. For sure. And that's okay. I mean, you can find it in anything that you have, whatever you're doing. And even if you're not that tech savvy, who cares? If you just open up one little thing on the computer, or if you just use a translator app, or, you know what I mean? If you're using a reading progress, whatever it is, just find something and just jump into what it is that you're doing. It's okay.
So I love how you say you just jump in, put both feet in, maybe even head first. I mean, that just kind of just represents your pioneering spirit as an educator, which is amazing. But can you share a little bit, because of that spirit and the willingness to try things that you haven't figured out yet, you don't know all the answers yet, and that's okay. How does this actually impact your students and what they're learning and willing to take risks on?
Oh yeah, that's a good question. We learn together, and that to me is so important because I'm able to be vulnerable in my classroom with them. And I think that puts us in the role as a teacher, or the me first deal as a leader, to just say, I don't have all the answers, and I'm okay with that. And I think it takes adults, especially, a long time to accept that and to be willing to say, I don't have all the answers, or I cannot control this area. I could care less. Listen, I usually call them to the front. Hey, I don't know what happened right here. I lost a document. I need you to help me figure it out. Or why don't you y'all in this group together? Why don't you help me figure it out? We'll come up with something going on later. So I love the part that we're vulnerable. And actually, I did every year, they never tell me that I hurt their feelings with this, but I have every group is like a guinea pig group. So every year when some little, a new tool comes out or like this new trick happens, I'm just like, hey, y'all the guinea pig group for whatever this is. So 2016, 17, that was the guinea pig group for OneNote. Whatever the following year was, whatever new app that I had found, like that was the guinea pig group for that. This past year, there were the guinea pig group for my for reading progress. When that came out, I was just like, hey, we're gonna figure it out together. Oh, Miss Taylor, I don't know what I'm supposed to read. What is this supposed to look like? I don't know, buddy. I don't know. You have to do it. And then we're gonna help each other figure it out. So I love it. I don't have the answers, and I'm okay with that. And I think for them, it allows my students to be able to see that there's a little more, I think they respect that factor a little bit more. And I think that makes me a lot more human in their eyes and a lot more accessible to be like, all right, well, Miss Taylor is trying just like me. And I feel like when we try together, we can reach our goal together. So I love it. I love the vulnerability factor. It's a little tricky at times, especially because some class, I mean, you can't do that with all of them, but for a lot of my classes, it is that feeling. Some of them I just got to be like, listen, we're doing it like this. I don't care if it's not working because it's going to work for me today. It is what it is. And I can't let them know that I don't know. But for the most part, we're doing it together.
I love that. It is about doing it together, right? You're all in the boat together.
Yeah.
And we're all in this for the same reason. So absolutely love how you kind of folded that in, and we're all in this together. We are together, and really shining the light on the vulnerability. And, it's you modeling as a teacher what learning looks like. And the fact that, your students are coming to you every day. They don't know the answers yet, but let's learn them together. You don't know all the answers. You still learn as an adult. So being that always on learner and modeling that behavior for our students, I think that's like the most valuable lesson that you can teach kids is you're teaching them how to learn.
Right. Right.
with those learning skills, they'll be
Yeah.
prepared for the rest of their life, right?
Yeah.
As we know, like life's changing.
Mhm.
All the technologies that we use are changing.
It is.
I look back at my, growing up, and the things that we did on computers then were completely different than today. But it's because my teachers instilled that love of learning in myself, then I've been able to adapt and change and progress in my career as an individual. And that's the most powerful thing we can leave our students with. So kudos to you, Nalan. You're
Thank
amazing.
you. That's such a hard question sometimes too for students. Like in the beginning, thanks. In the beginning, how they do we usually give like a little survey, right? Like a little get to know you survey, a little questionnaire. And sometimes I just ask because they're high school. So I'm just like, you guys are older. You got to know what this is. But one of the hardest questions in there that I put is like, how do you enjoy learning? What do you do to learn a new topic? And for them, it is like really, I'll get a lot of IDK, or I don't know what's going on. And then if I mention a couple, like, okay, are you a visual learner? Do you need to be able to see it? You need me to repeat it a couple times? That'll help kind of jog their memory. But for a lot of them, it's a really tough question to realize how they learn. And I think that part helps aid us in the learning process in our classroom too, because especially with languages, when you're acquiring a different language, I have to show it a lot. I have to say it a lot. I need to be able to repeat it. I have to slow down a lot. And a lot of times they'll help me do that too. They're just like, you went a little bit too fast. Okay. So you need that Taylor. So I got to bring it down a notch, but yeah.
I love it. We appreciate your energy, your passion. And if every school could have a Nalan Taylor in it, I think we would have a lot more successful, positive schools in this country. But we appreciate you being here. And we would love if you are willing to play a little game of lightning round before you get out of here today. You okay with that?
I think so. I've seen this. I'm a little nervous. Let's go.
All right. I'll start you off, Nalan. So what food can you not live without?
Ooh, food. Okay. I just happen to have one right here with me. This is from my favorite cookie shop. It's called Cookies by Design. Listen, if you take sweets out of my life, I don't know what I would do. Okay, I don't know what I would do. So right, sweets, but specifically cookie shop.
We know how to bribe Nalan.
Mental note.
All right, next one. If you could be anywhere in the world right now, where would you want to be?
Ooh, anywhere in the world right now. I think anywhere, not a specific place, but somewhere where I had a breeze and where I could put my toes in the sand, because this Louisiana weather today was not it. So this humidity and rain and back and forth, my sinuses are jacked up. I'm all congested. Yeah. So anywhere with sun and sand.
I know. I was in Louisiana actually just yesterday, and I walked outside and I was like, oh my goodness, I can cut the air in half. And it's so humid. All right, one more. What is your favorite genre of books?
Ooh, I can't do mystery, guys. I can't do mystery. I think, shucks, I don't even know if that's a genre. It's like a feel good, a genre. I guess motivation. I like motivational type books. Yeah. So like motivation and learning. That's my thing right there. What's the lesson? What's the feel good part? Yeah.
Love that. I would call that on brand based on our conversation tonight and just learning from you. Completely on brand.
There it is.
If you're a TV person, what was the last show that you binge watched? Or if you're not, last movie or TV show, or maybe a favorite that you have?
Ooh, last TV show. Well, okay. I don't know if this is really a good one. The TV show was like Real Housewives of Atlanta. Sorry. My reality show fix.
Hey, sorry. You and Victoria are right side by side on that. He's a Real Housewives fan too.
That's it.
Love it. You gotta have some trash TV every now and then, right? I'm a big
every
fan.
now and again. Yeah. Yep. I mean, you can only still take so much. After a while, I will just change the channel or turn it off. But
it's true.
I gotta have just a little bit.
It's true. And we will get you out of here on this one. Who inspires you most in your life right now?
Oh, wow. Okay. So right now, this is so crazy to me. I'm going to say my mom. So I know people always talk about their parents, but this is just crazy to me. I say mom because I have my mom living with me right now, right? And she is almost 70 and she still works. Okay. She decides that she still wants to work. But she tells me all the time that I need to take days off and learn how to take a break. But I look at her every other day like, wait a minute, you're the one who's getting up and coming in late, but you want me to relax. So I just love the fact that the tides have turned a little bit, like how our roles change when we become older and we can see now our parents in a different light. And so I should probably share that with her. But right now she's like my superstar. And she doesn't know that. So I'm gonna share that with mom. Thanks for that question, guys.
Love it.
That's amazing. Love it.
Yeah.
Well, we thank you for taking time and sharing your awesomeness with all of our viewers. Obviously, everybody, please go follow Nolan, learn from her passion, and just be inspired. I can't think of a better person, truly, to kick off this season and just inspire a really positive start to the school year. So thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
And thanks for being part of our community and being just literally the life and the energy. We love having you as part of our community and look forward to continue to learn from you, Nolan. So thank you so for much. Everything, and hope your school year is amazing. Your students are so lucky to have you.
Thank you. I guess we should have ended with like the wave, like we did at Microsoft. Have a good night. Thank you so much.
Thank you, friends, so much. We'll see you soon.
Good night, Nolan.
Bye-bye.
Robin, my cheeks hurt. Like, I was smiling and laughing the whole time. I would talk to her for 2 or 3 hours if we could.
I know. She just literally just a bundle of energy, joy, and passion for sure comes out of Nolan. And just, if we could just, I think I did this once during the show. I was just like, if we could just carbon copy her and just stamp her across every single classroom in the entire globe, it would be phenomenal. But, I think this is what fuels us here at Microsoft Education, is being able to work with teachers like Nolan and see the impact that they're making in their students' lives, and that they're not wanting to keep all that just bottled up in their own small pocket. They're wanting to share that with the world. And, the more we're willing to share at that capacity, the more lives we change, the more students that we touch. And all of that is because of community is so essential for any professional to feel like they belong inside of a community. So no matter what community it is, if you're listening tonight and you're an educator or you're a school leader, you're a teacher, you're a professional in an organization out there, I encourage you to find your community, find your voice, find your people, and then learn from them, grow with them, and then share that back with others. We all become better when we work together.
And if I thought one of the best pieces of advice that she shared, if you can't find it, go start it, right? If you're looking around and you can't find that person to go to or that group, maybe start it, be the voice and be the person that kind of gets that ball rolling. I love that that's sort of what ended up bringing her to where she is now. And, a huge part of our community, and obviously a huge part of a lot of educators' lives, with how she inspires and motivates folks to love education like we all do.
Absolutely. She is living the change. No
doubt. Well, a fantastic way to kick off season 3, right?
Absolutely. And without a doubt. We might have to have Nolan close us out too at the end of the year.
I like that. We may have to book her. Let's get that on the books right now. We'll go chat with her and twist her arm into that right now.
Well, Scott, it's been great. I hope all of you continue to tune in to more of these episodes as we continue to learn and grow from new guests this year. Excited about what's ahead, and thanks for tuning in tonight. But you can always reach out to us and follow us on our YouTube channel, and also view any previous episode as well. Looking forward to connecting online and stay in touch, and have a fantastic school year, everyone.
Absolutely. Great to see you again, Robin. We'll chat soon, everybody.